and get your overspray. Pop this fillet. Yes, sir. We owe you a couple medals for the delivery. Be there in the dinner bird. How it occurs? The audio post heartbeat sonic. Gigantic anatomy, bionic academy, logical prodigy, obviously well gifted. Go over, loading, supposed to hold the torch for true music at its pinnacle. Sorry. I'm a biokinetic superconductor with a touch screen to set off a computer blunder. You're into the picture. Global easy drive, but it's no easy ride. Too sleep deprived. Sorry, millions are educated and newcomers. Sorry. That's right. Solid as a rock. One word, stifle rifle. Nigga, man up. It's a C4 at the gate. Engineered, defragmented, decomposed, reincarnated in a minute. I'm energy, I can't be destroyed or reinvented. You thinking I'm independent, never given a limit. Manuscript fed head to lip, adamant attachment, travel stick stand, trip for sand dips, navigation locks, generation Xbox. Broke the silence, I spoke from the highest point within. Knowledge, at your front door. It's like gridlock. Ready, hey, Legos extensively promote your road trip, and you're a no-show to your own shit. Afraid of being overthrown, but my showmanship and my you're in need of software upgrades to upload this JPEG file. Optic cables in the pockets, enables import virtual sound base. Play it now. While I put a soldering iron to your circuit board. Now when I click my mouse, I'll automate your women's spouse. This is a pixelated portrait of me through one monitors. Indicating pull over a polyphonic slur. My jolly moniker is a computer hacker, super rapper, reasoning in the metallic chassis with a bandit printer me by Hewlett Packard. It's got a copper surface, spring-loaded kneecap, hydraulic hip, laser-guided missile mine, titanium tempered spine. With this in mind, we got the transmission from a rocket ship, popped it in the abdomen area, it'll fit them fine. Listen, if the pistons in the engine grind, flush the system, give it time, lubricate the ball bearings in the neck. When it's dry, twist it twice for an even coat. When it overheats, it smokes. It still has human lungs, even though the throat is gleaming cold. So easy on the cigarettes. Listen, this isn't your little sister's gigapet. Some whiny whipping boy with artificial intellect. The radiator's cooling system makes the shoulders colder, but regulates the temperature inside the motor's holster. No batteries included or needed. The solar. The output improves every time it grows a moment older. You're in need of software upgrades to upload this JPEG file. Optic cables in the pockets, enables import virtual sound banks. Play it now. While I put a soldering iron to your circuit board. Now when I click my mouse, I'll automate your women's spouse. This is a pixelated portrait of me through one monitors. Indicating pull over a polyphonic slur. My jolly moniker is a computer hacker, super rapper. Kelvin centigrade. Mango, crazy. Master block, broke, choke on, solder, lead, smoke, schematics, reading like a joke. Data addict, so I need to compute past the point of static resolution to the billionth person for the execution of this out of fashion quotient, equating to panoramic matter perspective means standard random upload. I'll set my drones to compile information on your style, grammatic form and profile, torn between a human day and a robot rocking. Matter perspective means standard random. Hello. Those are coming in. Hi, Carrie. Hi, beautiful Bernice. Hi, the frowning charlatan. Hi, VP, my e-boo. Just waiting to see if anybody else would show up. Did anybody see my intro? Just waiting for other people to come in so I can do my live today. Hopefully, I don't put anybody to sleep. I heard that, VP. Hey. Oh, there go my baby daddy. Hi, Alan. Hi, Naps. How you doing? How you guys doing today? How you guys doing this Saturday? I know it's been a while. High knowledge. It's been a while since I've gone live. Yes, because I've been busy. You know what? I am still busy. But I decided to take a time out my day to, entertain you folks and maybe drop the link and see if we can have just a good Saturday. So, anyways, what's going on with everyone else today other than me doing me like always? I really like my intro. I think I only worked on it for, I think I gave it my best 1 hour. My little intro. I try to change things up a little bit. So
this time I decided to use a different app application and actually build this myself, and so that we can see something different in the sector for a change, right? But something different, but the topic has not changed, right? So I decided to go live to put my perspective on the topic or what's going on in the sector today. I'm not going to really address any of the nonsense because I could care less about who's going back and forth with each other. But there is a topic that I do want to talk about that I thought that would be something that I would want to um, discuss with the sector, or basically, I know there's the intellectual part of the sector. I'm hoping, and I just want to actually get other people's opinions because I really kind of see people out here in the sector. I see them, kind of watching from the clouds and really not basically able to voice their opinion. So I decided to give people a space here to voice their opinions. Hopefully it's not, you could do a little bit of roasting. That's because, I'm still part of that. Maybe I should have added that, the roasting sector. But yeah, so I really want to get into it. I'm just waiting for a few other people to come through, but if they don't, they can always cast a replay, because for me it's not about numbers, it's about quality over quantity, right? So let me go ahead and throw up my little presentation, because I love to do little presentations that are very colorful, cartoonish. So I want to see what you guys thought about this one. So give me a moment. Let me go to it. And then I'm gonna slap it up there. Oh, where's my cash app? um, if I remember what it is. It is JOESAPHION $. I think that's what it is. I have to check my other phone, but no, I think it's with an H in it. So if you see a picture of me there, that's me. So all right. So anyway, so let me go ahead and see if I could get this up here and remove my banner. All right. I would do that. I would start showing the video instead. Okay, so let's see. Let me hide. Okay, that could stay up there. And then let me see if I can. It's been so long since I've been on Restream. That is insane. Oh, well, I can always share my screen. So give me a moment. Let me pull it up because I don't want you to see everything on my desktop. Because you might see something you don't like. All right, so give me a moment. Let me move this down, and then let me see what I want to share. All right, let me pull up that window. Okay, let me go to downloads. Okay, let me click this open. All right, I think that's open. Now let me go back and then let me share out my screen. All right, do you guys see that? Tell me if you guys see that, and tell me if you guys can hear me clearly. Oh yeah, that's my fan. Hold on, let me. That means that my headphones are very, very, very good. Okay. All right. So I gone ahead and turned off my fan. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this page here. Let me see if I can switch it to make it look like something else. All right, let's see. I can't believe I opened it in preview. All right. Can you guys see that? All right. So my little presentation. Let me go back to WeStream and see if I can get it to show up there. Because like it's up there again now. Okay, let me turn this off. Let me go here. Let me do this. Hello, Miss Murph. Hello. Hello. Bear with me, people, because unlike I haven't done this in a while, of course. And so I am trying to figure out how to get my Restream to show my little presentation here. And so I know it's showing my background. Let me escape the full screen. All right. Okay. Let me kick this one off. It's really not trying to work today. That's insane. It really isn't trying to work today. And I don't even have a banner up. That's crazy. All right. Let me get rid of that graphic. Switch it. I'm trying to hide these things. See, it shows that. Okay. All right. That was from like a previous live, I guess, that we did. So let me do this. Because I hate preview more than I hate. I like Keynote better than I like preview. So I hate when it comes up in preview because it doesn't come up in the format that I want it to come up. So anyways, the topic we're going to talk about is well, if you guys see my community wall, that's what I want to talk about today. And I want to kind of get into it because I want people to actually tell me what they actually thought when they heard it, or they just ignored it, or are they really just sick of this bird brain in this sector telling us all kinds of goofy ass shit that we don't care to hear. And the only reason why I saw this was because if anybody follows the ancestors, he actually posted the original video of her actually ranting and saying the N-word with the heart ER. And her justification for it was insane. I've never heard anybody in my life actually try to justify calling somebody the N-word. So with the heart ER, especially being that they're black, I also heard someone says because she's black, she can say it. I will be referring her as bird brain all throughout this live because that's exactly what she is. She's definitely a bird brain with low emotional intelligence, but we're going to go a little bit deeper of why not only does she have low emotional intelligence, but she's just plain ignorant. And Carrie Ann, I agree with you. Are they going to continue on gaslighting you, saying that these people are anti-black? In this space, I believe that this bird brain, not only is she anti-black, but has the nerve to be in the conscious community at certain times in her internet life and talking in that way, and doesn't even know what the N word stands for or what it means, or doesn't care. She doesn't care. But I honestly believe that she did that to try to trigger people. But I also think that it's a very interesting conversation to have. So that is the reason why I am presenting this. So this time I have it in PDF form. So I'm opening it up now. So hopefully this one works. Oh Lord. Oh no. I lost all my graphics with that one. All right. So I'm going to kick myself off again, and then I'm going to see if I can add it again. Window. All right. There it is. There it is. I figured it out. I figured it out. Can you guys see it? Tell me if you can see it. All right. Finally figured it out. All right. So this is a Josephine, the chat sector, also known as a chat activist presents, right? Let me go to the next one. And this is short and sweet. So just so you know, the rest of the time is really just me roasting or whoever wants to jump on the panel. So this is called Use of the N Word by a Bird with a Low Emotional Intelligence, with the heart ER. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that nigger is a noun, right? And so what I do also want you to know is, I think I skipped one of the slides, but this is going to be offensive and triggering to some people. But this just, I have to use the exact term that she used because I want to capture it on my live. And so and just so you know, nigger is a noun, and everybody in this chat should know what this word actually means. Is and what is the term is used for. It is used against black and a dark skinned person, and it's very offensive. And this term is used to express hatred and bigotry. This is what this term is actually used for. Okay, so we all come to a consensus that this word is definitely used as a noun. Is used for hate and bigotry toward people that look like us. All right. So let me go to the next slide that I came up with. All right. So, skipping. All right. So, according to the dictionary and according to Google and according to other documented resources, even the courts, that this word ranked as the most offensive and inflammatory racial slur in the English, and basically in the English language. It's often used as a racial epithet. So when people are using it, they're definitely using it because they hate you, right? So if they're calling you that, I don't care who they are. This is definitely used as a racial epithet. It's not an epithet. It's not something that we just use because we want to. People use this terminology purely because they hate the person. And it's possible that the person that's using it, the bird brain that's using it, has a lot of self-hate for her own self, which is why she feels that she can freely say this word. without getting busted in the head. Okay. So let me go to the next slide. All right. So it's used as an insult for a member of any dark skin race. In other words, a member of a class or group of people who are systematically subject to discrimination and unfair treatment. And we all know who that is, right? That's us, right? We are often treated unfairly in a lot of different situations. You can name one Black person who cannot say that at some point they were treated unfairly. Even Nappy Yankees, the person he loves to hate, Candace Owens, has also experienced a level of hatred. Okay, so there's not one person that can say they have never experienced this. Okay, and if you can't say that, that means either you're not paying attention, you're living on a rock, or you're in complete denial. All right. Okay, so I did not record her actually saying it. I mean, I recorded it, but I don't have the what I didn't do is I did not actually I took the audio out of it because I wanted people to actually have a visual of what it looks like when somebody is spewing hate without even hearing the words. So what I'm going to do is, because this is actually on my Canva site, so I'm going to go ahead and do the presentation from Canva, share out my screen there. And I just want you guys to look at her face when she's saying it. Okay. So give me a moment. Let me do that in a second. All right. So let me go back to Restream. Let me go back to sharing out my screen. Right. This screen is the screen I want to share. All right. And let me go back to Canva again. All right. I think you guys can see that now, right? Okay. So y'all can see that. Okay. So I'm going to make it a presentation and kind of make it full screen. And so you guys can see this bird brain just talking. Okay. Now I want you guys to look at her face. I can replay it for you guys. Yeah, I'm showing you guys Canva. Yay. All right. So I just want you guys to see this bird brain actually explaining away why she is saying the N-word. Look at her face. Right? I'm not going to give her the dignity of us hearing her say it, because for some of us, especially some of my viewers that might actually listen to this again, they might be very, very offensive. They might try to seek her out and try to find out where she is. So I just want you guys to kind of look at her, actually, her mouth. Just look at how she's saying it with all the hate, right? You can see hate in her face. I'm going to play it one more time. And as you can see, anti is 100%, right? And, she's agreeing with this. She's another person that hates Black people. All right. So look at her. Look at all that emotion, how upset she looks, how crazy she looks. This is insane. Imagine if your young person stumbles across this video or stumbles across a clip of her saying this. Now, in AES's world, right? This video would have been sent to everybody's job and clipped. she would have sent this video to anybody she could who she thought was a professional's job, right? But she's in the chat talking about 100, all the anger that AAS has towards professionals, but she's sitting in the chat with a woman that is sitting here saying the most hateful things that that as an employee, somebody that works, if you're in a professional position, whatever, even if she's this color, she would get fired. And I just wanted to, and I don't think anybody ever noticed that or pointed this out. So this is why I'm pointing it out. This lady, AMS, Anti-Afro Sengali, has a nerve to come for people, right? And this is who she supports. And we have the proof right here. This is not Photoshop, other than the fact I added these things on top of it. This is actually her making a comment, and this woman made sure that her comment showed up on the screen. Now, this is alarming to me, because in this sector, how many times are we going to entertain people like Anti-Afro, who hates Black women, hates married women, hates straight women, hates professional women, hates women who has accomplishments, women who have degrees, women that have all kinds of things going on with themselves. Right? The hate is real. So it brings me to my next question. So let me get out of this. Let me go back to here. And let me let that go. And let me go. And it leads me to this last part of my thing. Okay. So let me go back to here. Okay. Question: what does a low emotional I'm sorry, low emotional intelligent Stargate mean when she says people are acting like niggers? Because I can't find that anywhere. I can't find a definition. I can't find anywhere in the world, in any book I've ever read, that anybody can act like that. What is acting like one? Because when I saw the image of her spewing all that hate, is that, what is it? What is it? Right? Because those types of women, let me tell you, there's no way that she can't have any friends. She has no one to talk to. She has no social skills whatsoever. So there's no way that she has friends, because if she has friends, somebody would have buzzed her head until the white meat shows. So it doesn't make any sense for these people in this sector to be entertaining a very dynamic. Sorry about my language, because I get so emotional about these things. A very evil person like AMS, because this is what happens when you're dealing with a woman who feels the need to come in a place and cause disruption and anger and tries to control every chat that she goes in, right? And then you got people who are non-Black, racially ambiguous, right? In the chat, kikiing, laughing like it's funny, or they'll disappear like they didn't see it and then come back to her chat later. Or you'll have someone saying, well, that's her and that's not my opinion, right? And it has to be, because she's talking about you. So in your mind, she's talking about them, but she can't be talking about you. But I can tell you where this is coming from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link for anybody that wants to come up, and the topic is about this, not what goes on in the sector, what Ray Triggs and them is doing, what a lot of these non-blacks are doing in this sector. I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is how it is okay for us to sit here and not say nothing and sit in chats and with a black woman who thinks it's okay to call people the N-word and and she was building up to it. I think that she always communicated like this. I think she always said these things to people. This is not something new for her. This is something that she does when she gets mad. And I want to know is, how can you hate somebody that you've never met in real life, that has no impact on your livelihood? They're not paying your bills. They're not responsible for you working. They're not responsible for your eating. They're not responsible for you paying your bills. But you have that much hate in your brain, in your heart, to tell a person that this is what I'm going to use, the most hateful term in the world. And it's a damn shame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this link. Now, you feel free if you want to come up. If you don't, that's fine. If you have a issue with someone in my chat or comes on the panel, please keep that to yourself, because this is not about that. There's a whole bunch of channels you can go go back and forth. All right. This is just not the time and the space for that. Okay. So let me go ahead and drop this link for anybody that wants to come up. And if you don't, that's fine, because like I said, for me, it's not about numbers. It's not about it always been for me a space to give people the opportunity to chat, even if the person that they're listening to isn't, their cup of tea. I always thought that, people just like to communicate with other people, So I went ahead and dropped that link for you guys. If you guys want to click on that link, that's fine. All right. If not, I'm cool with it. All right. But I just wanted to say something, because I really feel like we shouldn't be sitting around here. I'm going to say this. Carrie Ann was out here, one of the few people out here saying that and give me a second, that there are a lot of anti-black people here, and they were gaslighting her and making it seem like she was the racist in the sector. She hated men. But this woman clearly hates women and everyone else. All right. So I have clearly hates women and everyone else. Okay, you guys gonna have to mute. All right. So hello. All right. Go ahead and hello, Carrie. Hello, T-Pre. So go ahead, if you guys want to chime in, I'd definitely be happy to let you guys chime in. So
hello,
Carrie. Hi.
hey.
Okay. So how do you feel about my presentation?
Well, first off, thank you for going live. It's been so long.
Right.
I love your little visuals, especially the little the second and third slide. I really like. Let's just get that out of the way.
So my thing is that the biggest thing that I wanted to point out is that why are we You know, and I think you said it first. And you know, I have to give Alan his credit too, because he also was shouting that there's a lot of non-blacks in this sector who definitely have a vendetta against us. They try to make it about us, right?
Yeah.
They try to make it about us. They try to say us people of color who are darker than they are. And I am not that dark either. But, you know, I consider myself brown skin. And the thing about it is that, you know, being a black woman growing up with two siblings, one darker and one lighter, I never knew the difference because I'm from Chicago, but I never knew the difference. My parents never treated them differently.
Right.
So the thing about it is that hearing, you know, all this, you know, at first I just listened. I didn't have an opinion. I didn't really have an opinion or anything like that. I was just listening. Okay. And I really, you know, agree with a lot of what you were saying, a lot of what Alan was saying about these non-blacks coming in this space or racially ambiguous, actually trying to make it seem like we're the problem. And then their excuse is, well, this really a black space? Well,
Yeah, I remember that.
the majority of the people here are black.
Right. Yeah.
So the other thing I heard her say is there's no such thing as racism, and she doesn't believe in racism on any part. And everybody knows that racism only happens to those who are not in power. We don't have power to be racist.
You know, that reminds me, I saw this this discussion the other day, some channel I never been to. And this guy was on the panel kind of losing his shit, talking about how there's no such thing as verbal abuse. And who would say that but a verbal abuser? Like who needs the argument to be that whatever they did couldn't have been verbal abuse because there's no such thing as verbal abuse? So who does it benefit to make such a ridiculous argument? Like there is no racism, no behavior could be proof of racism because racism doesn't exist. Like that's a classic abusers
Exactly.
Yeah, strategy.
I wanted to highlight what Miss Murph said. Miss Murph said, in her opinion, I think it's fear rather than anger. She demonstrates a fear of her position in the sector being taken away. Okay, so, all right, so Miss Murph, okay, now that's a good way of seeing it.
Who are they talking about? Stargate or AAS?
We're talking about Bird.
Are they two different people anymore? Have they become one and the same?
Exactly. Well, we're talking about the bird brain because I refuse to give her a name here. She's a bird, and she suffers from low emotional intelligence, and that's the only thing that is a little bit that I feel sorry for her about. But the problem that I have with some people in the sector, especially the men, is that if you work with people that have a disability or you work with people that have low emotional intelligence, you look bad to me when you're in the sector playing around with somebody that you know has low emotional intelligence and saying that, oh, they are accountable for themselves, they can take care of themselves. No, you giving them a platform and you're using them to antagonize other people in the sector, and then they're escalating, they're getting worse and worse and worse. And that's my problem.
About that part. I don't know about you.
What'd you say?
I don't care about that part.
Right.
Because I mean, if stupid people with low self-esteem go on the internet and get gassed up even when they're behaving poorly and they have an audience that encourages them, like I mean, how is that affecting me? I don't really give a shit. And I'll say this about, oh, go ahead. Were you saying something else?
No, what I was saying was I understand where you're coming from, but let's say, would you take advantage of the vulnerable?
No.
Right. If you knew somebody was really, really vulnerable, right, would you let them come on your platform and just say whatever consistently?
No, but see, I'm also not that pathetic. I'm not the bird or the person who enjoys playing with birds. You know what I mean? They're both pathetic. They deserve each other, I guess I would say.
Right. And they do, right? They really do deserve each other. But you can't expect people to respect you if you're doing those kind of things.
Oh, and I
Right.
don't. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I would never respect a human being or a person who knew that this person was behaving in a way that you can tell they suffer from low emotional intelligence. If I
Well, I
wasn't
think at a certain point it's just low intelligence, and
right,
that's okay too.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, because I've heard her say she hates people. Hate is a
Yeah,
very
people have told me
strong
she
word.
said that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I have zero investment in what she thinks or says. Don't care about her suffering, her
Hmm.
personality, her growth. Don't care. The anti-black shit she said to me over a year ago. I'm not these other black people. You know, and that's why I don't even feel like I have to dignify this nonsense about me being the anti-black one. Like, I'm the atheist, I'm the communist. Like, these people still idolize biracial people and worship the white man's God and believe in his economic, like, what that shit is beneath me, in my opinion. But
Right.
their blackness has not been one conversation I keep taking out of context from 2 years ago and chopping up over and over. It's been consistent. And like you said, it's been escalating. And that's why it was important to me to get my own channel and to encourage other women to get their own channel, because left to certain niggas to defend our image or create a space that's respectful or even a tolerable level of safe, I can't rely on that. And that's not me hating black men. Like, me talking about the fact that black men and black women's relations has left black women being unsafe and abused. That is me talking about men hating women. Like, me complaining about being afraid about getting street harassed. The hatred that's going on in that scenario are the people who won't let me walk down the street feeling safe. And yeah, that's it. I can't be bothered with this type of people who would even engage in a conversation about whether or not what she's saying or doing is okay. That's why we just have to have our own spaces,
Right.
because there's no working with them. They
So
don't want to learn. They don't want to do better. It's just, what can you do but
so
coexist?
so let me take it a little bit. Let me be a little bit more clear, right?
Okay, go.
So this is not about what she says. She can say whatever she wants, right? This is a free country, free
Clearly.
speech. This is about the people who socialize with her, who expects me or anyone else to respect them. So my thing is this, where is your moral compass? Like, where do you stand, right? So I engage with you. I enjoy your content. I like being around you. I like coming to your channel. I enjoy the roasting, a little bit of back and forth, and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you play into that. You say, you know what? I'm serious when I'm serious, and I'm playful when I'm playful. I'm going in when I'm going in, or I'm being reactionary when I'm reactionary, right? But
Right.
then you have people, right, that think, like that will down, like still like me.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you got a problem with this person, still like me, still deal with me. But guess what I'm going to do, right? I know you're not with none of that. I know you don't want to have you want no parts of that. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put her on the panel with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Causing a toxic situation, right? I've seen all kinds of it demonic stuff happen, to the point where people do it for the more attention they get, the worse they get.
Yeah, Stargate chased me around panels for weeks, if not months. I had to keep just letting it be known I'm not about to engage with this bird. She was making so many different alt accounts. That bitch was lightweight following me around. It was kind of creepy.
Right. And
But I'm with you. I can't engage. Yeah, and the people that have her on their panel, I'ma just dip out. I'm not about to try to tell them what to do, but I
right.
knew this bitch was anti-black when she called my hair dirty a year ago, and I'm not all these other black people that's like, she ain't mean it like that. It ain't a mean that nah, bitch. I know. Don't nah. I ain't one of them. You know.
And then we got another anti-black person, that's a hooker, that's in the sector,
Mhm.
using trying to sound like she is part of the community, but using all the negative characteristics of of any, you know, black woman
Yeah, she
just
on
to
that
fit
Cardi B
in.
shit. All her trifling behavior, our fault.
Right.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
you talk ghetto and negative, and you talk crazy because that's how you think that all black people engage. So that's what it sounds like to be black. She doesn't even know that
Is
that's
that
what
what she doing, girl? I haven't heard her voice in so long.
that is exactly what she's doing. She
Because back when
sounds,
I was still listening to her yammer yammer, she was trying to sound like some type of fucking
yeah,
scholar. Yeah,
she was trying to sound like she was
she
about
did
that
that.
life.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, dang well you would call the police. It's
Right.
crazy how
She was talking about calling the police on D Darrell like day one.
it's crazy how she will talk all this smack, right? And she will say this or say that. But the next thing you know, she's I'm going to file a police report.
Yeah.
I'm going down to the police station.
Yeah. She turned into a
She's
whole
not
white
the
girl.
only
Yeah.
one. She's not the only
Damsel in
one
distress.
doing that.
I know, but it's hard for me to really sympathize when it's like, you know, a lot of dark-skinned black people be the most self-hating. And I think a lot of these non-blacks, they know they could just go up to the closest dark-skinned black person and be like, you're special, and pat them on the head. And she's just been going through the sector tapping nigga after nigga on the head. And it's just like, I mean, all right, you know,
Exactly.
ain't my fight. Shit.
And then she's a victim, right?
Right.
And so now they're all teaming up together, right? But
Yeah.
let them tell it. Let them tell it. It's the women, it's the black women, it's the dark skinned women. No, it's not, because you don't know the complexion of hardly any of the women in the sector, and we are all different tones.
I feel like it's a well-known thing in the black community that a lot of times these non-black or biracial girls that be in public school, like the dark-skinned black boys be gassing them up, and then they be jonesing and bullying dark-skinned black girls, and then them girls try to hop in on the joke and try to roast a dark-skinned black girl and get beat the fuck up. And then they try to pretend like everybody was picking on them when no, wasn't nobody picking on you. Dark-skinned black people like biracials and exoticals just like everybody else. They be hypnotized by the fucking whiteness.
Exactly.
So ain't nobody picking on them. And D Darrell getting out here embarrassed himself talking about colorism goes both ways. I ain't even got time to entertain all the bullshit, the way these niggas go back and forth with them and they non-black women. They could do them. I'm not gonna tie my sanity to it. And if somebody, some enemy of the community want to weaponize attention from low rate, dirty foot, you know what I'm saying, non-black bitches who, for some reason, a lot of dark-skinned black men will put on a pedestal, I'm not gonna get on your way. Go kick it with her. Go let her pat you on the head like she did everybody else. And in a couple of months, you could try to get out here in front of it like Ray Triggs and try to convince everybody you knew it was all gonna happen and you planned on getting played by her.
But the one thing that I'm going to say this, I don't have an issue with anybody dating anybody outside their race. Like I don't have a problem with that, because like I said, you know, it has never been hard for me to find a black man, and it's never been hard for me to find black men that I like.
Well, my thing has always been like, that's why I can't get with Alan Scales, is that it's biracial people that's more for the cause than dark-skinned black people. So any type of little scale or try to figure it out, like a lot of the greatest civil rights leaders have been of mixed race origin.
Right.
So I'm not a simple-minded person, right? Like people calling me a divester, I'm not dumb. I don't think stupid shit like that.
Well, Carrie, and the whole scale thing is on a, you know, different level. Like, so the scales has nothing to do with just a person being, like, in my opinion, and he has to correct me on this, but the scales has nothing to do with putting one person on a pedestal versus what the scales are based on is that the people that look more a certain way are treated less than. So the more black features you have, you are there, there's
I'm not
anti-blackness.
disputing that. Yeah, I don't want to have his whole
So,
argument. My just thing is just like codifying a case system does not
right.
change anything. Right.
Right, but
Um,
it's just a simplistic way of seeing things to try to to try to get people to understand that there's anti-blackness, and anti-blackness is people that hate black people or do
yeah, but
things to
people have
hate
already
black
tried
people.
that with the Quasdam rules and the Mescaries. Like,
Right.
I didn't mean to, I apologize. That's my fault. I shouldn't even brought that up. I just mean, to me, it doesn't matter whether or not somebody is considered black by other people. It's not a distinction. I know who I consider to be black, and I'm not about to argue with you about it, because at the end of the day, like, a lot of times it be these biracials teaming up with dark-skinned blacks. So it's not useful information to me.
Right, but the other thing is, it's just that for people who have don't have a strong understanding, right?
I know it wasn't about behavior. I was just saying
Right,
it doesn't matter.
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
The understanding of what visually, like I said earlier on in my presentation, that everyone has experienced. You can't tell me not one black person has not experienced a level of anti-blackness. It's impossible. We have experienced a level of anti-blackness. When we lived in Chicago, the level of segregation that we experienced there, that's anti-blackness.
I totally agree.
When they built those projects and we were living in towers versus the projects and the other, because in Chicago, people, they don't, in the South, people are just white, but in the Midwest and in the East Coast, people are Irish.
Right.
People are, and in
Yeah,
those
right.
communities, right, they were doing a lot better than us, and we were trying, it was hard.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, we agree that
Right.
racism exists and systemic racism affects
So,
black people.
right.
Right.
So what you have is, you have people, like, for example, and I think I said this to Alan too. I said, what is the first thing that everybody tries to change about themselves when they get plastic surgery?
Their nose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are they trying to get away from? Us.
Although, that you might be able to make the argument now that there's more people getting their lips plumped.
Right.
Than
But
getting nose jobs.
right. But what it is that they would rather have our lips than have our nose.
No, it's true. All the races borrow from each other. All this stuff is also complicated. I want
Right.
to, yeah.
But
I
you
feel like
gotta
I'm
start.
disrespecting your topic, taking it all the way over here to
Right,
this.
but
So if you
I
want
was
to go
going
there, that's good. But I
right,
feel bad.
but what I wanted to say, but we have
Go,
to
Joe.
start. But we have to start somewhere, right, Carrie Ann?
Go,
There are
yeah.
people that are not at the same mental, emotional level as other people. So we have to start out somewhere, trying to make noise and get people going. Remember, some people, where they start from is the first thing they go, and hopefully Shakim graduates from this too. But they start off like, trying to discover where they came from. Then they go to being like, oh, I'm from Egypt. Now they're Moors, right?
Yeah.
And then they go all around the bush, but they never learn.
Girl, we know this cycle well in Chicago, don't we?
Right. Right. They go around this bush, right? They go down to, they're down there and they're talking about the Olmec. See, they look like me. We're trying to always find who we are, our connection, because everyone else has a connection but us.
Okay, facts.
So we have to start somewhere. So it's like, okay, I understand your stance where you want to start from up here. But what about the people that is still trying to get to that level? Someone has to be there to get them somewhere, so that someone else can say, hey, now let's move up. There's a learning process.
I have a
There's a
response
learning
to that.
curve.
Yeah, I have a response to that. Yeah.
Sure.
And I these are important questions, right? And I think I have a thoughtful answer for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, I don't disagree with you, right?
Right.
But I do think that in the Black community, we have I know that we have an overemphasis on trying to always reach down to the lowest, least accomplished people.
Right.
You know, and it's a real problem. I remember when I first started teaching, one of my students said to me, I'll skip through all the context, but he basically says to me, what about the good kids? You know, because
Mhm.
we put so much energy into the kids who are on the bottom, right? That
Right.
I think that stunts our growth. Like most other communities allocate their resources to their geniuses. And to give you an example, like in the public school system, right, in Chicago,
Uh-huh.
the girls who got pregnant, right, they got free prom tickets, free prom dresses, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember what else, but I remember that part. There was a lot that they got for free. But the girls who got on the honor roll didn't get jack shit. They didn't get no prom dress. So and I think that's applicable to a lot of things in the Black community. So as for the people who aren't to the level yet where they can recognize and address anti-Blackness when they hear it in their own community, I think that the people who are meant to reach out to people on that level are people who come from their level.
Well, let me just say this. I got something better for you, right? I could counter. Not only am I going to counter that argument, I'm going to prove a point, right? Okay. So the one thing that Black people have that, and I'm going to. This is my strongest opinion, but prove me wrong, right? Okay. Black people have the most empathy in the world. We accept everyone easily, right? That's just what we do. So when we see a homeless person outside, and we're more likely to give them a couple of dollars because we can relate. You know why? Because we either know somebody in our family that was homeless, or we were almost on the brink of homelessness, or we were there at some point. Just like with mental illness,
we flatter ourselves that we do that because we're such good people.
No,
I disagree.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it because we're good people.
We have so much empathy.
We're doing it because we can relate. Has nothing to do with empathy. It has nothing to do with love for that human being. No, I know, but let's look at it at a smaller scale, right?
Okay.
You always see a lot more homeless people in areas
in poor neighborhoods begging.
In poor neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Most Black people who are in the service, and like not service, but in the public service, like they're caregivers, there's something like that, right? They live actually in diverse communities, because most hospitals are in diverse communities. They always have one like raggedy poor hospital in near the ghetto, but all the other hospitals. So our job, we always end up working outside of our community, or we live outside our community in a diverse community, because we're in the middle. Like firemen, police officers, they all live right there, right? So think of it like this. We're 1 foot away from being right there again, and or whatever. We also know that, like, we live in a certain neighborhood and we get a brand new car, or a new house, we're more likely to get robbed. We're more likely to be whatever. In countries like Africa, in some countries, they don't have Salvation Army. They don't have welfare, whatever. What they do is, anything that goods that they have is old, they just trickle it down to the poor people. They just give it to them. So we're like that. We were 1 foot away from that, right? So some of us, it's just like with somebody with mental health. If you come across somebody that has a mental illness, and they're literally nearly having a breakdown, you're going to you're going to tell them, like, maybe you should go here, maybe you should, something.
All right, Joe, let me ask you, because I feel like you're just giving me a lot of examples, but I might not be getting your overall point.
Okay, so my overall point is this. So in where I live at, right, you take these homeless people and you take them over there near like McKinney, or way up there near Cedar Hill, and you leave them right there. You know what they're gonna do? The police is gonna put them in the car and drive them right back over to the hood. Why? They're not gonna get a dime. They're not gonna get offered housing. They're not gonna get offered anything. They're gonna look at as loiterers. They're gonna look down upon. So what I'm saying to you is that even though you see it from that point of view, that a person may may empathize and may want to help that person try to understand it on the lowest level, they're close to being 1 foot away. Maybe that person was at that level at some point in their life, understood how it felt, and just trying some way somehow to try to do their part.
I mean, I get why people help people who are less fortunate. What I'm saying is, I think that we direct too much of our attention towards the people who are the least likely to succeed. So if people want to reach out to the like least educated, least intelligent, least emotionally intelligent, those people deserve their advocacy. But people like me should really be trying to help people who are more like me, because I'm more likely to be effective with those types of women.
But yeah. Carrie, guess what? If there's a plague, right? If there's a plague, they're going to go to them poor neighborhoods first and make sure they vaccinate all of them for free. And you know why they're going to do that? Because because of their situation and their living standard, because they don't care. I mean, they're living, and because they don't care, they may kill off all the successful people, right? So it's like, if you look at it from a scientific point of view, doesn't it make sense to kind of pacify, at least to a certain degree, people that may not want it? Like, it's their choice. They may not want it.
Let me just bring it back to the sector so I can make sure I'm understanding. Yeah. Here's what I'm saying with my metaphor.
Right.
There's people in the sector who found Stargate entertaining before any of this happened, which I don't even get that anyway, right? But now that this has happened, after, like I said, it seems to me like a year's worth of increasingly anti-Black woman statements. The people who aren't yet on that level of whatever it would take for them to have some self-esteem or race pride, I'm not here to convert them over to understanding why that type of language is unacceptable. I just need these people to kind of identify themselves. So, and that's why I'm glad I have the Carrie Ann sector. So I'm not saying the people who are, less fortunate intelligence-wise don't deserve help. I'm just saying, as a teacher, as somebody who's worked in this industry for, what I mean, many years, the Black community, we put way too much of our resources into troubled kids. And we put almost none of our resources towards gifted kids. I have seen this and experienced this in multiple different educational environments. It's a big problem. The amount of millions of dollars the U.S. government gives schools to address kids who are failing, it dwarfs any of the money they get to encourage Black geniuses. And I'm sorry, a lot of time leadership comes from kids who are dealing with all those same struggles that everybody else, but still managing to succeed. We don't put any money into those children. None.
I agree with you like 100%. Like, I really totally agree with you. So it's like we're walking kind of like a fine line, aren't we? Because in our mind, I would love to convince people to more invest in people that really, really want to make a difference, really want to embrace what you're saying, right? Yeah. But we're going to always have that part of us where we are going to kind of slip back into, I don't want to be there. I understand what it's like. Let me help you too. So it's like, I understand everything that you're saying. I stand on your position a lot. Like, I really, really believe that. But being a person who, on the other side, because remember, I have a teacher a teacher.
Oh, right.
True. And then I'm the parent. And the one thing that right. And one thing that he was able to see was this side of it. And when he saw this side of it, he was blown away, because this side of it, right, is just as challenging as the other side of it.
Yeah.
And then everybody blames them, the board of education, all of them, because it's something that they're doing that's keeping us down here, right? So I get what you're saying, but what I like you to do is just be a little bit more positive when it comes to people that's making an attempt, that's trying.
Well, here's what I would ask you then, because you
Yeah.
describe these people as people you don't respect. Like you don't even respect them.
Well, okay,
So why
so
would you? Yeah.
well,
Go ahead.
there's only this person lost my respect. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's only one person. And the reason why he lost my respect is because to him, this is a game. And I believe that when a person makes it their profession, their life to work with people with those kind of issues, especially if they suffer from those issues before, they may have been had that in their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
For them to come on the internet and actually play with that lets me know you play with everybody. You can't turn.
Well, but this person already told us that he touches people.
So
why do people need to be?
Well, I know. No. I'm not going. Okay, so listen, I get that part, right? But I'm putting more on emphasis on what is really, really important.
I don't see what's more important than that. And everybody act like I'm so judgmental.
But no. I'm saying that what you
Yeah.
said was important. But what I want to focus on is what's not happened then, but what's happening right now, which is very important. And what's happening right now is if I feel like this woman is a vulnerable adult, even though I can't stand her, right? And she's a vulnerable adult, that person knows too.
I don't think it's fair to label her a vulnerable adult. Like when I hear that phrase, I think about women who are like, mentally retarded. Like they literally like they can't sign a contract. I don't mean like the offensive word. I mean literally their brain stopped developing when they were like 8. Like
have you ever seen a movie, The Other Sister?
No. Is this about the Kennedys?
No, there's a movie called
they had that other sister. There
was a movie called The Other Sister. I don't know if anybody ever seen it, but it was this woman that had a sister that had she was very developmental, like really kind of slow, and everyone always tried to cater to her. And she wanted to be like everyone else. She even got her a boyfriend.
Looked normal. I see it. Yeah, she looked normal. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got her a boyfriend, and her boyfriend and they wanted to get married, but her family was always like cautious. And she was like, Mom, let me,
Yeah. A lot of people really go through that, girl.
Yeah. And I don't put Stargate on that level.
So yeah, it's not fair. Yeah, that's not fair.
That's all I'm trying to say. I put her on the level where she's
just stupid.
Yeah, she's all of that, but she is very easily manipulated too. Like,
but she well within the range of like adult. Like she just
dumb. Like just because you could still act like an adolescent and still grow, like still progress. I'm not trying to roast.
That's not how that works,
Mikey. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, he hasn't progressed. If you have
the mind, that's what I'm trying to say.
Like, that's what it means.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, see, here's the thing. You guys will look at and I don't want to say her name, but it was the one that was showing her breasts. You'll look at her visually and you can tell right off the bat.
I agree. I felt way more uncomfortable with that situation.
Right, right. But you will look at her. You will look at her, right? You will look at her and you will know automatically, like, if they're messing with her, blah, blah, blah. But there are people that hide it. And she's hiding it behind all that laughing. And
but so what? Dude, she is of average intelligence. Like she's just a little bit like average IQ is from like 85 to 115. I bet you her IQ is somewhere between 90 and 100. She's totally fucking normal.
I think hers is I think it's lower than that. I still want to see her bake. Like the only way I'll know for sure is if she goes and gets a box of brownies, and reads the back of it and bake it, and then I
But she
will
would
agree
probably
with
just
you.
get some she already knows the recipe for and
No,
pretend to
no,
read.
I would.
You know, they be having their ways of pretending to read. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm just saying, like, I just want to hear her do it. I want to see her do it.
I mean, if she got
And,
through massage school,
I would give her $1,000. I mean, I would give her $100 if she did it. Like, literally, I would. If she
she'd
go
cheat,
live,
girl. She would cheat.
no, she has to have her camera on. She has to read the box out loud. Like, I have stipulations.
For the record, I don't think she's disabled. I just think she's
I
dumb.
don't think
She's dumb.
I'm not saying that she's disabled, right? What I'm saying is that she's
Well, if she can't bake brownies, she disabled.
no, girl.
No, that's definitely
girl,
disabled.
listen.
That's how they,
Girl.
girl. I'm a teacher. When they figure out if you have to get a check, like that's one of the things. Like, can you wash your ass? Can you make a hamburger? Like,
Well, listen. I want you to try this with your students. Have them get a box of brownie, box, and then have them read it to you and see if they ask you questions. Like, ask you, like, what pen am I supposed to?
I think I can figure out if my kids can read. Thank you very much.
Like, look,
I gotta bring props.
I am just roasting you on top of that. Like, that I cannot be 100% serious at all times.
No, I think
you understand. Look, yeah, I didn't mean that part. But
now you trying to play it off.
No, but I'm serious. It's not about her. It's just that I just feel like maybe there's people in the sector that didn't want to say nothing, and they didn't really want to say nothing, but they felt like uncomfortable, and they just needed to hear other voices come out and say, yeah, that was some bullshit.
You know why this was good for me to see? Tell you what I got out of this. When these people were being anti-Black the whole time towards me, I knew I didn't have no question in my mind about what I heard, because I know good and well don't no bitch have no reason to be calling me dirty. Like, what the fuck? What is it? Racism? Like, what the fuck is really going on? You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was no doubt in my mind.
Oh, it couldn't be because she didn't like you.
Bitches been not liking me my whole. I ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? So because of that. I ain't just get unlikable last week.
Oh, okay.
So I know what insults to expect.
Oh, okay, because like me,
right.
like me, I'm not used to being unlike, I don't care, one way or another. I don't stay there long enough. Unlike. Look, I don't stay there long enough to be unlike.
Well, girl, I be so in my own mind sometimes, and people be paying me attention.
Look,
more than once.
Look, fact says, don't they say, because they have to come in with their troll account, they just can't come in their real account. So they said, don't they say the same thing about you, Joe, that you're slow and delayed? It's hypocrite. Well, facts. Let me tell you something. I was the first one that was calling her slow, and then she took what I said and started using it. And then the men in the sector started saying it too. So,
but the real difference is that Joe's feelings don't be hurt because she's not actually retarded.
Right. I don't care. Like, right. I'm not gonna call you the N-word and say I hate you because because people in the sector think I'm slow and delay.
Are you gonna go around demanding that everybody in the sector choose you over all them other bitches?
Listen, my bank account don't say I'm slow and delayed. My job don't tell me I'm slow and delayed. I don't know anybody in a management position.
Right, that's the difference. They be like, Josephine, you slow. You be like, meh.
Look, listen. Look, this is good. You don't like Star, just let that be. Stop the name calling. Doesn't matter who said it first. Listen,
who said what first? What name calling?
Facts. Listen. Just like I said, she can say where the hell she wants. I don't go to her channel, right? I don't care what names or somebody calling me a name first. She will never
go one way.
Right. If she has the difference between me and her is this. She been calling me slow and calling me out my name all this time. Not once did I call her a nigger. So I'm just gonna tell you that. So let's just get that straight. Like, I sleep good at night. I mean, like, you know.
And you know, when stupid people learn a word like hypocrite and then they just keep using it in every single conflict, it's like your inability to
You say,
understand
look,
nuance.
this is funny. This is funny. She doesn't go to your channel either. No.
You
She
her. Bitch, we
watches.
all know who you
Look,
are.
wait a minute. She doesn't go to my channel. She watches my channel. Because there are things that I have said on my channel that has been clipped and of her repeating what I said. So she goes to my channel.
She's so
and
desperate
she
to tell you
watches-
these little things. She thought this shit was really some snap. She done went and made another account.
Exactly.
She thought she was really saying some shit, girl.
Like, you know, I am not triggered by Star, to be honest with you.
You not?
Not really.
You
like,
not about to go to all the Star friends and demand they be your friend and not hers no more?
Because here's the thing. Because I know for a fact that Star would never say this stuff to my face. I know for a fact that she wouldn't do any of the things that she's doing on the internet in my presence. Just because of the kind of person that I am. Like, you couldn't walk up to me and call me any name. You couldn't walk up to me and call me slow either. But I can walk up to her and call her slow. I trust me. like, you know, because I'm not afraid of anybody and I'm not triggered enough where I will go live.
Ask me where she could buy some disposable diapers.
Oh yeah.
I told her I ain't know.
Exactly. She was the one out here wearing a Marshall Warfield bra. And
Girl,
trying to
I had to look up who Marshall Warfield was. When I saw that shit, I said, "You son of a bitch." You son of a bitch. If they make the saggiest titties in the history of all television. Like, did you keep that in your back pocket?
No, I'm just saying, like, she used to have, like, some of them women be wearing them, like, them old school bras where they shit just sit up like this, and they, and those bras are
so many type of bad bras. Yeah, I be out judging people's bras whenever I'm in public. I don't know about you.
No, I wear t-shirt bras. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I take the padding off because I don't need no padding already. I got my padding here.
Oh, girl,
so I'm glad they started making it where you like they have slits on the side and you could just pull the padding out, because some women don't need it to look like they have padding when they look, they already built.
Girl, I would love to get a breast reduction.
I had one.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's why you don't need no padding, because I'm like, girl,
no,
I need the padding.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't care how far your nipples. I mean, I don't care how far your breasts drop. Your nipples will always face forward.
Well, after you get a reduction, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sick of carrying them around. They're so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be celibate the rest of my life, should I just go ahead and give me a mastectomy?
Man, look.
Like, what am I doing with these
hold on. Name calling is a ad homien, Joe. If all you can do is clown with weak jokes, it shows your lack of depth on the subject.
Who is this person? Why don't they make their own show if they got some?
Yeah, like
Wait, hold on. This woman called us low class nigger bitches, and this goofy bitch in your thing telling you to stop calling names. Is that what's going on right now? Is that what I'm seeing with my own eyeballs?
Yes. But the thing about it is, facts is entitled to their own opinion, because all that is an opinion. That's an opinion.
I've always thought name calling and ad hominem were two different types of logical fallacy, for the record.
Yeah.
I mean, they achieve a similar mean, but name calling is its own thing. Yeah, when people try to, whatever. So yeah, as far as the sector, I think that there's people that have that are offended by it, and there's people that's not, and I wouldn't expect there to be any movement on that. What do you think? You think these people can learn?
Nah, I didn't make this to learn. I made it for myself. See, a lot of people think people do things for other people, or they do things.
You're just processing it.
Yeah, people do things like if how I process things, or how I want what I want to say, right, is the way I want to say it.
Uh-huh.
And if somebody can like say, oh, well, I like her process or how she processed things. That's fine with me, because
Well, if that's the case,
I always believe like take what you can use and then everything else just discard it. Like you don't have to use anything I'm saying. You don't have
yeah.
to take my advice. This is just me. I think the platform is just people to have an opinion,
I think
right?
it was Aristotle. He said the mark of an educated mind is the ability to entertain an idea without agreeing with it.
Look at facts. She said there is no right way to use the N word. Those should focus on that instead of that.
How's somebody gonna tell you how you should feel and what you should say? I'm finding that annoying. You find it funny. I'd have blocked their ass. Wait, okay, I have a question for you, Joe.
Yes.
Go. So, the people who like are not offended by what Stargate said, right? And it's always like cowardly people and lazy people in the Black community will always what about anything they don't want to confront. Well, what about the time this happened? And what about they pick and choose when they get outraged, but when they don't feel like being bothered, they just play whataboutism. So those people aside, do you think the people what percentage, right, of the sector do you think just actually hates Black women as much as Stargate and the other the rest of the biracial code?
Well, I think that the manosphere is like 1 foot, 1 inch away from Umar Johnson.
Yeah, I agree.
Their hatred towards women. So
Yeah.
a lot of the dudes have like mom issues, or they feel like their mom was a disappointment, or they can't understand why their dad wasn't in their life. And so they have a lot of animosity towards women. I think that things have changed. Back in the day, remember, women used to, the man used to, not only did he used to bring home the bacon, he used to also pay the bills. And then the woman would be like, if she was married to him, she had no option but to have sex with him. But nowadays, women are just out there, they could do just as much or more. And so now it's more like, okay, you got to get in where you fit in. It's got to be some type of partnership, or something like that. But let me address what facts.
Yeah, what aboutism did I just do with Stargate?
But you know what? The real part is like you can tell who facts is by the way they're communicating.
Well, I would think it was Stargate, but all the words are spelled right.
Right. So no, it's not Stargate. It's a guy. But
it's Identity.
No, it's not Identity. But it's a guy. So what they do is like they came over here to try to get, to try to confront me under a troll account instead of confronting me under their real name.
That's why I would block them. I don't let them do that shit on. But I mean, it's your channel. But
I mean, they can talk wherever. Like that's my way of letting you know. Like what you say is not. You're never going to change my mind. Like you're not going to make me. What you're saying. Oh my God. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start thinking like facts now because
what if they have a good argument?
What if they do? Then they need to come back under their real name and give me their good argument. I would respect them better.
So people only use that. So but you don't block anybody.
Oh no, I got a lot of people, not from my chat. I got a lot. Well, it depends. I got a lot of people blocked, but they're only blocked because they mad about it. they block because and then I have this rule.
Okay, I only block people. Okay, I got you.
And then I have this other rule, like come back with your real chat name and roast me. Like don't roast me blindly. I felt like, and I don't know who you are, and I can't come back good and get my roast game on good because you coming in here under a troll name. Let me roast you under.
That's why I don't let them come over there. And it was a lot of the worst, like anti-Black, anti-woman, like the most racist shit was coming from those little throwaway accounts. And for the record, I think that was biracial code the whole time too.
Yeah, I think facts should hit the panel too.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm not going to address the shit. Because it's like they throw these little comments out there, and then when you ask them what they're talking about, they decide what they do and don't want to answer. They just be, it's such a disingenuous way to have
facts. If you want to chat with me, I'm on Instagram. You can always send me a message.
If they feel like it's a way to analyze Stargate, the N-word, why they don't do it themselves?
Yeah.
I don't get the point of telling you how to do your analysis.
Yeah.
And I mean, you
wanna
talked
talk
about
to
it, and the
me,
conversation drifted away from that because there was nothing left to talk about. So how you gonna come to her hosting a conversation about something you want to talk about? Like, it was plenty of ample time for people to come up here and chop it up with her about however they wanted to interact with this
I
commentary.
think it's just a way to, like, okay, so if I call her names and she calls me names, nobody wins because, we're calling each other names. And if she called you names first, and like when she calls you slow, I'm not offended when she calls me slow. She's offended when I call
No,
her
they haven't
slow.
said anything offensive. It's just to me, I
Yeah.
find it annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she said
Oh yeah, I wanted to
I'm
ask.
fixated on disliking Star. Let me tell you something. Fact, Star said the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Right? I can never be
Remember
that.
when Shakim said I should prove to him my house went up in value by showing him the amenities? It was dumber than that.
She said I try to be smart. Something like this. I'm paraphrasing. She said I try to be smart, or I'm in the chat being smart, but when I realize how stupid I am, then I get triggered.
What? She said that about herself?
She said that about me.
Oh, I was about to say, if Stargate is smart enough to realize that she's stupid, she's smarter than I thought.
I
Okay.
realize that I'm stupid.
When you put stuff in the chat, you realize that you're stupid and then you get triggered.
No, she didn't say chat at all. That's just what she said. I'm paraphrasing. That shit was funny.
You get triggered by your own stupidity from Stargate?
Yeah.
Ain't Stargate the one that got triggered when I kicked her off
No,
my panel?
this person said, wait. I'm entertained because I like being entertained, I don't care who offends Joe. Just step your game up talking about the N-word instead of talking about weak shots. So you're telling me what I should talk about.
Well, maybe they got a specific script about the N-word. Like, is there something specific they want you to say?
That's probably That's probably Rev G or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Probably. If that's not, that's probably Rev G or something like that.
I mean, what is this history of the N-word? What more do they need to know about the N-word?
I put the definition up. There's nothing more about it other than the fact
definition, the connotation,
spelled
it for you.
Other than the fact that she said it because she was mad and she was throwing a temper tantrum.
Do they want to like the whole?
I want to know. Look, I want to know. This is my question. I want to know, like, what it means to be like let's say, she said that you're acting like one. I really would like to know what the definition of acting like one is. Because I think she's using it as a verb, maybe.
I want to know what is it that she has that's high class, or what is this?
Yeah.
I want to know what designates Stargate as high class. I mean, not enough to ever have a conversation with her, but if somebody could ask her and then come back and tell me what she said, I'd love to know. Because when I heard she said that shit, I laughed so hard.
I want to know how we're jealous of her. Like,
she did tell me one time I was jealous because she had a man pay her bills for 10 years, not that she was paying his bills. And when I asked her, was this before or after you lived in a homeless shelter? She ain't never answered me. So I don't know. So I'm either jealous of her living in the homeless shelter or jealous of her alleging to have paid for a man to live with him for 10 years. I don't know. It's one of those two things I think is what I'm jealous of. I don't know about you.
Well, I'm jealous because she cammed up one day, and ever since then, I've been hating on her ever since. But I mean, like, I'm getting what I'm getting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been propping my legs up on a grown man for quite some time now, So I don't need the camera. He gets to see me naked.
You happily married people. Oh, y'all so lucky. Damn.
and I'm about to leave the country too. Oh my God. Like, really?
Yeah. Are you the one going to Dubai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, safe
I'm
travels.
going
Where
to
you headed
Dubai,
out?
and I'm going to Dubai, and I'm going to the motherland.
Oh yeah, where about Egypt?
No, I'm not going to Egypt. I'm going to one of the I'm going to Victoria Falls. So I'm going to one of the
Ooh,
wonders of the world.
nice.
Yes. All I know is
I'm
that
about to
like
go to
I just
Chicago. I
thinking
thought I was jet setting.
like I just wanted to roast. Oh, and then yeah. And I just wanted to have fun with her. Like I really don't take her seriously. I thought it was just, a good reason to go live because I haven't gone live in a long time. I could have went live and talked about
I just
anything.
find her incredibly annoying.
Oh,
I
you
can't.
do? Now I only saw that one and the ancestors, he posted that thing, and that's what I saw, and I was like, I can't believe this chick is sitting over here
I never heard of the
singing.
ancestors.
The ancestors, oh, they got a channel. He just came, or he or she just came in
Yeah, I
here.
saw him in the chat. I'm gonna try to find it. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for going live again. I was wondering what you would have to say about all this. What I don't know the question about whether or not you think that how anti-black woman you think the sector is.
Oh yeah, I'm taking a gang of pictures. So I don't know if I know, like, if you add me to IG, I will send you guys pictures and everything and videos and stuff. But if you don't add me to IG, oh well. add your fake troll account on IG. You can add me there. I don't care about that as long as you tell me who you are.
I can't find the ancestors.
Oh, you
The name
can't.
is pulling up everything but a channel.
The ancestor. He just came back in here.
No, I see it. Can I get it from here?
Hey, Jern.
I'm gonna hop down so you can close out. But yeah, thanks for going live. I loved it.
Oh, all right. I appreciate you coming up here, of course, and you didn't get at me too bad,
It's just I think that the part of the sector that's still down for that, they're just beyond repair. These I can't be bothered. I'm just so grateful that it's especially women who are just kind of doing their own thing. And I hope that there will be, it seemed like there had been a surge of women creators and then it's kind of falling back down again.
Yeah.
YM, I don't think is around anymore. And she was a big inspiration to a lot of people, I think.
But yeah, I like a lot of the women content creators. I really don't have anything against women at all. I think that all women should have a channel. I supported Stargate in the beginning. It's that like you said, when nobody turned against you, that seemed to be the problem there. And then all these men like made her head really big. And made her, think that she was more than what she is.
As men will do. Yeah, that's what men do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of men, and I don't have a problem with that because if she's single, whatever, shoot, go for it, brothers.
Right.
Go and get that. You know what I'm saying? Go and get that dry cat if you want to. That's, you can do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Go and get that old ass pussy.
Right. Old pussies need love too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Old dry pussy with diapers on need love too. In fact, I'm making fun of her. So
you should only be talking about the N-word in the history of the N-word. All
right. Okay, all right, bye. All right, well, it was nice going live with you guys on my Saturday. I should have been out looking at houses, but no, I was too lazy. Oh, hey, brother, of a certain age. What did you walk in on? The end of a live that basically was me addressing a comment that I seen or a video that I seen, but then I took it everywhere else and around in the corner, and I was being joking a little bit, and then Fax wanted to get serious on me, and he said I shouldn't be name calling his friend because he has the moral compass of a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a very huge moral compass, so he needs to be worrying about what he been clipped saying and who he's going at. Because he wasn't even invited over here. But he should have just came in here under his real name. And maybe I would have addressed them directly. Or he could have hit the link. I would have kicked his dumb ass off. But he could have clicked the link. No, I would have. I didn't have to use check this out, you guys. I didn't have to use this one right here. Like, I literally was prepared. Stay on topic. Mute them. Facts. I'm not taking disagreement seriously. I'm just talking. You know, let's call it like dead air. Like, it's like dead air. Like, you know how you just say stuff just to be saying it? You're talking out loud, just talking off the top of your head. Be more mature. You telling me to be mature in this sector? Are you kidding me? You want me to be mature in this sector? Oh, nah. If I wanted to be mature, I would go back to the sector that I'm in, the technology sector. Facts, you know why I'm talking to you? Because you're addressing me. Really, to be honest with you, I would have stopped talking to you a minute ago, but I thought it was just entertaining. You're just entertaining me. That's all. Facts is over here entertaining me. You know what's entertaining to me, Facts, is that you came in here under a troll account instead of your real name. And so you're telling me to be mature, but you in here under a fake name. How can I take you seriously? Your name is Facts. And I don't even know who you are. I see you in the chat trolling and voicing your opinion everywhere else. I think you should go over there, and I think you should go to hi LV, hi Germ. I think you should go over there to like Stargate's channel and then tell Stargate to stop name calling and act more mature. You know, how come, let me tell you something. How come people that are seen, that people see that are smart, right, have to be held to a way higher standard, right? But then Stargate, her standard is like down here and she ain't got to do much. Doesn't that sound like the president that we had? Clark, they do not know me very well. They do know me because they see me and they probably talked to me behind the scenes before. But they should know I don't take them seriously. He's like, only one of two of her teammates will go to such lengths. Yeah, either him or Rev G. I'm gonna need you to be mature. Hell, and then, you know, it's really funny. That's the number one tactic. Go tell my ops the same thing you told me. Nah, I'm telling you, this ain't CNN. I'm not doing anything equally. I don't have an ops. I do not have an ops. You listen, for me to have an ops, right? They have to like interfere with my money, my livelihood, and my well-being for me to have an ops. Just saying some goofy shit on YouTube or saying some disrespectful shit on YouTube, I'm just voicing my opinion. I don't have ops, sir, or sir, ma'am, sir. Facts. Why don't you hit the panel and tell me how you don't do things equally? Oh, Stargate is my ops. Okay, so how is she my ops? Because I don't like her. I don't like her chat personality. So how is she my ops? What is the ops anyway? Do I follow her around the sector? Do I watch her content? Have I ever had a personal phone call with her? Have I ever seen her in person? Y'all always telling people to go to so-and-so's channel and all this and that. No, I am telling you, I don't have to go to tell Star anything. I don't care where you go. Listen, I just told you, why don't you go tell her that? If you never did, you don't even have to tell me that you didn't. You sound like a kid. You sound like a kid that has no power. You in somebody else's life, somebody else's chat, trying to tell them what they should do. So listen to this. I don't listen to anybody in the chat. You can't tell me nothing. You better go tell them. Latoya, you found me. When one of your friends find you. But this is hilarious. He's like, I'm talking to you and I need you to be mature. Like he paying my bills, like I live under his roof, like I'm in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna cut off my internet bill, sir? And that you gonna cut off my internet bill? Hey. Oh, I'm just up here having fun, Hey, look, facts. I would pay you $2 to hit the panel. All these things the content creators do is stupid. Look, Miss Murph, I think that facts misinterpret what you said. I'm not sure. Because I unless I missed something. Oh yeah, we need to do that. I did say that, LV. I did say, if you went back to my little slide, I said if this was wait, what did I post it? Here it is. I said if this was if Stargate worked as a teacher or worked somewhere, this clip would be at her job so fast. QT, I always give people $2. I know, right? QT. I mean, Carrie Ann, why are you watching? Like, why did you come over here? Somebody got a crush on me. That's all that is. You know what? Fax wants me to block him so that he can come back under a different name, or he can go live somewhere that I'm never going to be and be like, and I don't even know why Josephine, she even said anything, and why she was talking about her, and she doesn't even like her, and I don't understand why people are going. You know what? Maybe that's her little pepper flake dude. Carrie Ann, I am notorious for giving people $2 in the sector. If you have not gotten $2 from me, you're not special. So I'm surprised they didn't call me Sleepy Joe or Slow Joe or all of that. T, they call me, like, in this sector, some of these people be calling me Slow Joe or Sleepy Joe. Yeah, that's true. The frauding, they don't know. They don't know. Look, T, you're confused, huh? Okay, so basically, here's the thing. There's this chick in this sector that was calling all of us hard NRs, or says that we act like NRs, and so I just decided to waste my time today and not do nothing, go live. Facts, can you do me a favor? Facts, can you do me a favor? I'm waiting for your response. Can you do me a favor, Facts? I'll drop the link. Hold on. Oh, oops. Facts, can you do me a favor? I need you to do me a favor. For reals. Can you do me a favor? I mean, seriously. I really, really, like, right now, I really want your opinion on this one. Like, what you about to say, like, you saying yes to me, or what matters 100% right now. Can you please do me a favor? Dang, Facts does not want to acknowledge that I'm asking them for a favor. Oh, damn. Oh, well. I have to tell you to suck on these nuts another time. I dropped the link, Alan. Of course they're not hitting the link. Yo, what up?
Hey, what's going on over here, man? I saw you was over here getting crunk and everything, and I said, man, look, it's either stay over there where I was at or come over here and talk to you. So I said, I got to come over here and talk to you. What's cracking?
Nothing. Nothing. I was being entertained by Facts, but he wouldn't let me tell him to suck on these nuts because I wanted him to say,
oh,
yes.
You got to get these nizzies. Yeah, for real. Listen, one thing I didn't hear, man. Look, when I was looking at Starbait's live or whatever, and they had everybody on there, Identity and all these other niggas and shit like that. You know what I mean? And the one thing they never did was they never defined the word nigger for me, the hard ER nigger. Nobody ever defined it. Nobody ever said what a nigger did, what a nigger didn't do, what a nigger looked like, nothing like that. And the dictionaries never said that either. So I'm trying to figure out, man. I guess you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said that it was just a derogatory term and everything like that. But I see it as just a word. And I'm trying to understand like where all the emotional response comes from when we hear that word and shit like that. And why do people think that it's effective to use that word against us? What do you think was going through Starbait's mind when she decided to, out of all the terms that she could have used, she didn't call people bitch ass niggas and everything else in the sector and this, that, and the third, but nigger, that
that's
was
because
her crowning achievement.
That's because she was trying to trigger people, and she was trying to trigger everybody. Well, I think she was just so upset because she looked upset to me.
Yeah.
I think people behind the scenes have been coming at her, telling her not to say that, and she's just defiant, you know. And so she gonna say it and say it and say it and say it until she blue in the face. But what I was saying was, if she says this and she's a professional. And she has a professional job.
A professional what? What are we talking about here?
No, like if she was a teacher, worked for the government, the
she had a gig. That matters?
She had a gig, like a real gig. Oh my God. Amen would have this clipped.
Well, look,
she would be her job would be lost.
Here's what goes on. Here's what goes on in life and things like that, man. There's a lot of niggas that look. The internet is a place for motherfuckers to come on here and be something else. That's why we have so many trolls that run around this motherfucking dude. All they shit, day in and day out. Like, these motherfuckers want me to respond to everything a troll got to say. Now, listen, I don't have no ops, but the people that I will give some time to are the motherfuckers that have cammed up, niggas that we can see, we can talk to, and things like that. Now, I know you haven't cammed up for the people. You have cammed up for me. I've seen you. I know what you are. So when I be like, Joe, the fuck is you talking about? Yeah, look, I know who I'm talking to. The other thing is, man, you got a person who sits up in here and runs their mouth about a nigger. The first thing I ask a person who wants to use that term is, what is a nigger? What does a nigger do? And how can I identify one? The same thing I ask about black folks, except I don't ask what black people do. I ask what black folks look like. That's what I'm concerned with. What does a black person look like? Why do I bring that up? We talk about dealing with black genius. Well, guess what? I'm a borderline genius. Matter of fact, as of yesterday, I'm not even borderline anymore. I'm just a straight genius. My thing is this. There's never been a definition. There's never been a solid definition for what a black person looks like and what a black person doesn't look like. I tried to bring that to the sector. I tried to show you niggas something different. Not you niggers, but you niggas. I tried to show you something different. And yet we've got people that are showing videos of Chris Rock. They're playing clips of Chris Rock. Chris Rock says, I hate niggas, but I love black people. We got black folks that are willing to sit down and make a differentiation between other black people. You know what I'm talking about? As if we all ain't in the same goddamn prison at the same fucking time. As if we all that look like undeniable, unambiguous black people ain't dealing with the same goddamn thing. But this motherfucker go back to a Chris Rock show. This was 94, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I was doing in 94? I was trying to avoid child support. That's what I was doing. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't doing that. But I'm just saying 94 was a long time ago, and people are still running around. You got Starbait is older than me, nigga. And it's hard to be older than me and sit up and say some old dumb shit like that. And then this is what you come to when you said, I want to talk about niggas. And this is what I mean when I talk about the retardation and how we understand racism, what it is, and how it works. I won't say Star is a racist. I will say Star is a fucking idiot. That's what I will say. And that's right on the record, because if you thought that you were going to get, if you thought that you was going to get as much traction out of the word nigger as somebody who wasn't black by using it, you got to be goddamn retarded. So well, that's that part.
She ignorant. She ignorant. And then what we say, ignorant.
Now, I don't want to call people ignorant either, man, because I think niggas know exactly what the fuck they be doing. I mean, ignorant is to mean that you didn't really understand it, you didn't mean it or nothing like that. No, I think that she meant that. I think that she actually thought she was going to get as much traction out of the word as actual fucking racists, as actual people that were non-black. I think she thought that. I think she believed that.
She did. To be honest with you, okay, so let me put my real self on. To be honest with you, she embarrassed herself, honestly, because she said that in a space that nobody really cares. And all the people that don't mess with her still won't mess with her. And she probably lost some and that's on her, because in her world, this place is way more, this YouTube space that she's in right now means way more to her than any of us. It means way more. Like, I really honestly kind of like don't to be honest, like I really didn't care about her saying it. I was just watching the other people that was like, y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all just in there kikiing or whatever.
Well, hold on. I got these niggas calling me. Girl, I was down there catching the biggest fish on the goddamn water, man. I was out there doing the damn thing. Listen, I want to go from what was said to what we do about it, right? And that's what I'm all about. That's the name of the channel. What you gonna do about it? My thing is, what do you do, Joe? What is your first reaction to? Let's just say a non-black person runs up on you and calls you a nigger. What do you do about it? I want to hear. I'm interested in hearing that.
Oh, they get hit in the mouth.
God damn! Right away, huh?
Yeah, they get
gonna knock some tooth out. All that good
because
stuff.
To me, it's like they spitting on me. Like if somebody spit on me, because when they say it, that's what it seems like to me. They took all that like in their face to say, like, you know. So I just hit them in the mouth.
Right.
That's my knee-jerk reaction. That's like somebody spitting on me to me. Because I remember I was at my oldest son's school when he was in junior high school. No, yeah, he was in junior high school, and the kid called him that, and the white lady, the counselor, was like, sticks and stones may hurt their bones, but words will never hurt you. And I said, well, that word is used to incite violence. And I told her, you call me one right now and see how I would respond to you. And she would never say it. And I said, you that's right. So my son got suspended for hitting that kid, right? And the kid got suspended too. But when his father saw how big my son was, he took him out of that school right away. I guess the kid didn't know that they say it at home, not at school.
Right.
So it's like,
no, I get it.
And the only reason why I say that is because raising black male children, black men are enemy number one. And I don't know what that person intent could be. We were coming off of a black man being dragged behind a truck.
You talking about James over there in over in Tyler, Texas.
I don't know if that word is gonna, like, if they're gonna punch me or assault me after saying it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I haven't done anything to nobody where, like, I haven't antagonized anybody to the point where they will call me that. So you would have to like not know me, walk up to me and say that. So I don't know if you gonna like pull a knife out on me, you gonna try to drag me. So that is the reason why it affects me.
I understand, and I rock with it the same way. Now, when I hear it being used from a non-black person or for anybody else, for that matter, when I hear the hard ER, guess what? I do get a physical change. There is a physical reaction. Goddamn it! Don't let me sit up here and lie to you. I do feel it deep in my bones. What I'm saying is, when I hear it from a black person, I understand that I'm dealing with a person that has hit the goddamn summit of self-hate. I'm dealing with a black person that has hit the pinnacle of how low they can go, because I'm going to tell you something that hasn't been said about the word that Stargate was using, and that is for Stargate to come on here and use it towards people that she knows are undeniably, unambiguously black. This is a word that Stargate uses also to gain goddamn favor from people who are non-black that she's around. That's the bombshell. Boom. I just blew it up on a Saturday.
Of course.
Yeah, she's using that. But she said that word in order to find favor. She said that word in order to get comfort, and she thinks that is going to protect her. That's going to be the same word that they use to undo her. It's going to be the same thing.
You know what's really messed up is if they call her that, she would be running around here in the sector crying, saying, I can't believe they call me the N-word. And then we are all supposed to rally behind her because they had discriminated against her. So, you know, she knows what she's doing. She has the problem is that she has very strong hatred towards people that she's never seen or never met or will ever meet.
Right.
She claimed that she's here to build bridges, but what she's doing is she's burning them, because if they do not conform to what she wants or tell her what she wants to hear or cater to her in any way, and this is me being real, not just joking, but then it's a problem. So something in this space that she desires and needs so much that is coming apart for her, and she's acting out, and that's real, right? But I was keen enough to see it way earlier on. I just backed away from her. Like I stopped, like, you know, I just stopped going around her, right? And earlier on, and then when she started coming at the certain women that I really kind of are cool with, I'm like, no, you can't be saying, you can't do that. We know each other, like we cool, right? So now it's all the women against her, but it wasn't supposed to be like that. What we were trying to do was we were trying to have other channels where women can go live too, and where it wasn't controlled by a man, so that we would be going, so we wouldn't have to go back and forth and be fighting with each other on channels. That is the reason why we all started trying to make it even. We're trying to make, but then what it is like, okay, now they all want us to go against each other. So that's another wet t-shirt contest going on right there. And I got that from, and I got to give it credit. I got that from QT. I don't know who else said it first.
Wet t-shirts in the sector, and I don't have a problem with that. I say let it go on if it has to. But what we doing over here is, man, we have fostered an environment where the anti-black shit goes on all the time. That real conversations can't happen, and that people can't sit up here and talk about stuff in a real fucking way because everything has to be a troll move. Everything has to be for entertainment. No, I like what you said at the beginning of the program. You said, look, there can be a space for people that want to come in and talk about things seriously, because believe you me, believe it or not, it's a whole lot of people that do want to have serious conversations. Everybody is not one thing all the time. Everybody's not ready to laugh and joke all the goddamn time. And if you can mix it in, if you can find a way to mix in the laugh and the joke with the serious shit, then of course you have a show like yourself that's going to be successful. Every time you show up, it's going to be great. But we're talking about something really serious here. And that is that a person who was in a black person who's in a black space, a person who makes it as black on the scales for sure. And there's no level of blackness to the scales. You're either a black person or you're not. Now, does that mean that we don't have black goddamn sellouts? Excuse me. I got to train myself to not use some words I used to use. There's no sellouts and there's no coons. But do we have some black people who do not have the best interest of black people at heart among us? And yes, we do. Stargate being a perfect example. And I think when you see something like this, when you see a trigger like this, when you see a person willing to use that word, knowing the history and the context that's behind it on other black people, I don't know why niggas can still run over there and fill the chats up. I really have no idea unless you truly hate yourself. So we're not going to just talk about her self-hate. No, we got to talk about the self-hate of people that still go over there and look at that.
Well, that's because people like a shit show. People, like I said, people want a place where they can chat. Sometimes, I've watched. Sometimes they're just there to communicate with each other because there's the level of distrust, right? So I'm not going to talk to you behind the scenes. I'm not going to talk to you on any other platform. I just want to be anonymous. I just want to keep it here, right? There are some people that do it to pass the time away. So sometimes people miss things. They're not hearing everything. So that is, but the underlying real true issue here really isn't her per se. It really isn't. None of the trolling and sector is only one person. And the reason why I have her in this meme here, anti-Afro, is because this person is supposed to be pro-black, pro-ADOS, pro all of this stuff, but
Who's that in the
she'll
wheelchair?
say-
That's AMS in the wheelchair. Mr. Glass, that's AMS.
Yeah, that's how I see her.
Okay. I like that.
see her as Mr. Glass because she thinks that there needs to be there's a certain amount of evil in the world to balance out the good.
Right,
and
right.
in the end, you seen what happened to him. He ended up dying, So that's she's trying to be this force. She's trying to control. Like I saw DJ Drama's live yesterday, and I had to give him credit for this one. He had showed a clip where AS was mad because Rev G blocked Spot'em, and then Binary made him a mod, and she felt that was wrong. And it's like let me tell you what this lady did, right? She literally came after Nikki because she was in Binary's chat and she wasn't, doing this and this and that, just to turn around and be over there. Like, her hatred towards people, I think there's something mentally wrong with her anyway, but I'm not going to justify her behavior at all. I'm going to say that this lady is demonic and crazy, and everything that she does to everybody on here has been done to her, and that's the reason why she thinks she's getting away with something. She lies a lot. She makes up stories. She puts out information to give to people so that and then it's like, for me, I saw her put a post of some information from you on you, like from years ago, like, and I'm just saying to myself, like,
oh, me?
Yeah, and I'm like, lady.
Oh yeah, Carrie Ann followed suit with that too.
No,
so
I'm talking about recently. I'm talking about the one that she got on there today.
We got a lot of black people that like to put out information on black folks. Yeah,
but here's the thing: she puts out misinformation. She puts out information that is half true, not true. She edits things. She puts out information and make other people look it up, right? Just so that she can justify trying to hurt this person. And I'm like, who hurt you, lady?
Well, this ain't my show, and I'm not going to try to take it over with what's going on or what happened with me. The fact of the matter is that Anti-Afro's biggest target is me out here, and you have to understand why. Because I'm the only black man in the sector. Sorry. Anyway, let me get on with this right here, man.
I'm the only black man.
I'm the only black man in the sector. Yeah, period. Y'all know. Anyway, Human First says, although I acknowledge a non-reactionary response to be called in an ER with licensed outsiders to use it, I still believe we must not respond with physical force. Check this out. This is one of the things that I wanted to touch on, man. Guys, just because these people are out here using that term doesn't mean that the way that we react to it doesn't determine whether people are going to use that term or not. See, this is what I'm saying. Why does the word nigger hurt so much? Let me show you the insidiousness. Let me show you the goddamn devilment of what Starbait said. Let me show you this. Would nigger hurt black people if black people were rolling around here in money? Would it hurt black people if we were the top dogs as far as the world was concerned? Check this out. There's a whole lot of terms you can use for white folks. We got honky, we got cracker, we got peck. Sorry, Joe, stop me if I'm doing too much. I don't want to get you.
Yeah, you doing too much.
Okay. There's a lot of racial slurs that we could use for people classified as white. There are a lot of racial slurs that can be used for people classified as Asian, Hispanic, or whatever you want to call it. No matter what race or group of people, there's always a racial slur that can be used to make those people feel a certain way, right? But when I hear white folks running around, they be using those terms freely, man. They be laughing and joking and giggling and hollering and laughing. You know why? Because these motherfuckers are sitting over here in high cotton. When I hear Asians talking about it, I hear Asians using all the terms that everybody calls them and laughing and giggling, and shit don't make no difference. Why is it that when you look up that term, the way that you said in the beginning of the stream, it's the most offensive term? Do you know why? Because we live in the most offensive fucking situations.
Well, I'm gonna say
No,
this.
I don't want to have an emotional response to it. What I want to do is change the fact that we live the way that we live. I want to change the fact that we are living longer in prison than we do in the outside world. I want to change the fact that our circumstances are what it is. And so that way, when I'm sitting over there and I got everything that I need and the family and the generations are taken care of, and we're not sitting over here as a power in the world that is not taken seriously, that when you call me that, I want to be able to entertain it and tell you, man, you already know. Yes, I am. All of that. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I wanted to answer I Am Human's question.
Mhm.
I wish I Am Human in a perfect world that we live in a world where words don't hurt or don't cause pain. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times when people are being called that word, there is some type of physical altercation from that person. I watched a video, and I hold DeFron on that. DeFron sent me a video of a white girl calling these black women the N-word, but she was hitting them. She was, trying to hit them. She was trying to put their hands on them. When I went back to if you go back to a part in my life where I showed just her face.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show, I didn't want people to hear what she was saying. I wanted people to look at just her face. Right? So you see this person and she's just yelling at you. Like, normally you just leave and walk out the door, right? But sometimes their facial expressions tell you something else. So I wanted to lead with just showing her face and not having anybody hear what she said versus looking at how she was talking. Was she crying when she said it? Was she passionate about it when she said it?
Or was she laughing?
Does she show anger when she said it? What was your interpretation of her face when she was saying it?
That's what I want to talk about. My interpretation was a feeling of joy came across that lady's face when I saw her saying it. It looked like she was elated.
Celebrating.
Yeah, I felt like she was really like, oh man, I've got it. I found it. Because what she was looking for, she was saying, what can I do to debase the people that have already been debased? What can I do? What can I do on top of how Black people are actually living to add insult to injury? That's what I saw. I and I, but not the righteous I and I. But she wanted to add insult to injury, and what she did was she came through and said, "These niggas is already on the ropes. Let me mollywop them with the fact that I think that they are niggers," and that's the reason why I quit fucking with Chris Rock after that first, after Bigger and Blacker. After that, I was done with Chris Rock.
What I saw was a woman that was hurt and angry and very upset because trying anything and everything to trigger whoever she can trigger, because she was upset and she was mad. She was hurt and she was mad. Yes. That's exactly what I see. I see a woman that is hurt, that's mad. People are telling her to stop saying that. She still wants to be able to say it. And now, because now she's justifying what it is. She's like, yeah, you didn't act like it. And, that doesn't even make any sense because, you're just saying it to hurt, try to hurt people because you're hurt. Right. And what she's going to find out is nobody really is hurt by what she's saying. What it is that just nobody really wants to deal with a person like this. And
I like the reaction. I like the way that we responded to the N-word from another Black person. I like what's happened. I think you've ran a live stream on it. I ran a live stream on it. I think the fact that we came up here and we didn't get into falling out and being all upset and I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. But we wanted to discuss the psychology behind another Black person sitting up using the word. I think that's the correct reaction for it. Now, when I'm on the street and what's happened to me, what I had to learn over the years, because I used to be a very rambunctious person back in the day. I used to resist the police. I used to talk shit to these motherfuckers. I used to do a lot of things. But, you know, you learn through experience. And so what I learned was that I needed to calm down, because what I was getting ready to get was my head blowed off. And I didn't really understand a lot of things. What I do understand now is that when anybody calls me a nigger, if I have the opportunity to speak to them, you know what I'm saying? Now, there are people out here that'll call you some niggers, and you're going to understand right away what to do about the situation when you're dealing with some essays, or when you're dealing with some skinheads or some Nazi lowriders or something like that. You understand that when you get into that situation, well, now there's different tactics involved in that right there. You're going to understand every situation. But if I'm in the grocery store, somebody doesn't like the fact that I got 2 items, they got a whole cart behind me, and they want to holler about nigger. You know, the thing I have to say is, man, look, what do you mean by nigger? And usually everybody I've ran into, no, you know what? Not usually, but every single time, anybody who I've asked what is a nigger, nobody has a definition for it. People are out here using words that have no fucking definitions other than it being a slur. A slur could be anything. Somebody come in here and call me a bum. You motherfucking bum. And that's a slur. That is a slur. Somebody could say, you black son bitch. It's a slur. It doesn't matter. Somebody could call you black. You can take that as a slur. What I'm saying is, people are using words. If you have a chance to talk to those people, ask them what they mean. Nobody ever asked Stargate what she meant by using the word. And I think that's something that we should all do in the chats or wherever else we encounter this motherfucker at.
But what I'm saying is that the people that truly say that word, who they truly say that word, and they saying it out of anger and hate or whatever, 9 times out of 10, they're trying to do something violent to you. People that's just saying it, like I remember one time I was walking with my youngest son, and these guys were in a car. It was like some young guys, and they were like, all y'all heard was, yeah, you know, like that. And I was like a little mad that they said it in front of my son, you know, like I was a little pissed off about it. Like, you know, they were a coward, but I wasn't fear of my life, or I didn't fear like they were going to turn back around and do something to me. But, you know, when I was in junior high school, and I'm, you know, you got to understand, I'm only 47 years old. We should not be experiencing any of these things.
You're so young.
Day
You're just a young girl.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you got, you know, I'm in junior high school. We had a race riot. How do you have a race riot in the 80s, like or late 80s? Like you're having a race riot at the school because there's some kids drawing, you know, like little swastikas, and then, you know, and then I ran track, and they literally, like, you know, this school that was predominantly white, they took our flag and stomped all on it, and it was like every black person from other schools, including us. We were all fighting out there. Like, you know, it's just something that happens. But yeah. I'm not, like, for me, it's not even about just her saying it or whatever. It's just about the way people respond to it. They just like, you know, I ain't gonna deal with her. But that's on her. Like, if she goes live and she says, you know, you guys are still this and this and that, you know, a lot of people know how other people feel about it. But that's not really my real truly issue. My issue is that you got a lady in the sector who claims that she's a family therapist, marriage counselor, whatever she is.
Right. And we've never seen her.
Nobody's ever seen her, showing her all this respect. And she's telling about,
you know what? I'm sorry, I've seen her, and that's coming out too, but continue.
Right. But no, I just wanted to, you know, what the facts say, hypocrisy. I just wanted people to see that this is the same lady that's contacting people's jobs, trying to get people fired, saying 100 while she's saying, calling people all these names. This is the best screen capture I can ever get. I just wanted it to, you know, and I do have the original recording, but I just wanted people to see that this lady who claims she's ADOS, she's out here getting people fired from their job.
Right.
or try. No, I don't think she has never gotten anybody fired from her job.
Now we got to talk about that before you continue. I
Yeah.
want to say the AFW came out touting all their goddamn accomplishments. The only thing I've seen done is one, you niggas was victims of two goddamn federal lawsuits. All right. One in which you got out by the skin of your teeth, and two, Rev G has lost one job and on the verge of losing two. I'm saying the AFW has 0 victories as far as I can count. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong.
Right. So this is a victory to her. And so I'm showing that this is her victory right here.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating the fact that that she was able to co-sign a Black woman calling other Black people Nigger. Like she is celebrating this. Like this is AES's major accomplishment in the sector. I just want everyone to see this is her major accomplishment in the sector. Other sectors will see this. They will see now let her tell it. This isn't her. Let her tell it. She didn't post this. That somebody else probably used her. No, this is her. I know this is her because she has me blocked. But this is her. So she talks to her personally, so she wouldn't put a fake AAS on the screen. So I just want everybody to know this is AAS's biggest accomplishment. Her biggest accomplishment is celebrating and agreeing with a woman and saying that this is okay. She should have been in this chat and told her, she should have been texting her like she texts everybody, her little minions, to show up in chats and come at people. She should have been texting her like, get off of here. This is not a good look. You're only humiliating and embarrassing yourself. You need to see somebody about this. Something, is definitely you might need to you might need to log off. No,
well, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why, when I was talking to AMS behind the scenes, AMS wanted to know if I really wanted to push the racial topic, and I had to tell the crazy bitch. I said that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I just happened to find out what the fuck y'all was talking about, and thought maybe I can come in and add something to it. But what I do is the race thing, and she was like, no, I'm dead set against it. That's what I had put out in the text messages. She was like, oh God, no, please no, don't do that. Nobody's going to be receptive to that. See, the thing is, when you run into people that are already willing to shy away from the thing that affects Black folks the most, and that is the system of racism, which is anti-Blackness. And make no mistake about it, racism is and is only anti-Blackness. That's it. And only people that are non-Black can practice racism, which is anti-Blackness. So when she saw that, she wanted to get away from it right away. And that's why you never saw me putting out people's personal info or anything else at the behest of a AFW. That's why you never saw me participating in that, other than speaking my piece on things that I would already talk about anyway. Go ahead.
Alan, I want to ask you a question because this is only one point that I definitely agree with Carrie Ann on. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about, moving away from trying to educate just the average, person that really probably don't care about none of this, and moving towards those individuals and kind of like expanding and kind of meeting them where they're at when you communicate with them, and really talking to people that really care about the about what to do about us experiencing anti-Blackness. Like,
well, I would have to say you have to look at the behavior of a person in order to determine who is really advanced as far as thinking in terms of not or of trying to counter the system of racism, anti-Blackness. Now, how do you qualify a person for who's going to be the people that are most qualified to help us move away from the system of racism, anti-Blackness? Here's why I'm saying this. Now, we can look at the academy. We can look at people that have gone before us, the PhDs, no matter what kind of degrees they have and things like that. And we can also understand that we still live in a system of racism, AKA anti-blackness. We can still look at that. So how does one determine who's best qualified? Who are the people that are going to be the geniuses or the people that are going to be the best minds at solving this problem of racism, anti-blackness? How do you qualify that? Because see, you can't qualify people that will turn around. Now, think about Carrie Ann in my situation. The fact is, I have always built up Carrie Ann. I've always said that I thought that she was a genius. I never talked about Carrie Ann's hair. Matter of fact, I never had anything to say about Carrie Ann until she attacked me on several occasions. Now, the next thing that happens is Carrie Ann turns around, and the same person who was running Starbait's program is the same person who Carrie Ann reached out to in order to defame another black person. Now, this is what I'm saying. So if you have to make that decision, who was supposedly in favor of dismantling the system of racism, anti-blackness, and who was not, I think that the only things that you have to do is look at behavior and academic achievement and so-called accolades, because the academic achievement is going to come across because the greater society meaning people that are not black, the greater society are going to be the people who determine whether you get a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD. You're not going through black people to get those things. You're going through institutions, whether they be ran by black folks, whether you're at a HBCU or not. You're going through people who have set up a system that allows those things to determine where you are as far as your academic achievement, and which we equate to intelligence. I don't believe that. What I believe is you have to look at the behavior of a person. You have to take the track record of a person. And from there, that's how we decide. And that's how we determine who is going to be the best at helping us replace a system of racism, anti-blackness with a system of justice. Justice being balance between people, places, and things. If you're going to try to use the accolades of white academia, white society, white systems to determine who's going to be the best for black folks, I think you've already made a critical mistake at that point.
I'm going to tell you this, Alan. So just so I can add, because I understand where you're coming from. So I'm going to, bring something to the forefront to you that a lot of people don't understand.
Okay, go ahead.
A lot of the academic papers, documents, and things like that are written by non-whites. So what happens is when you go to college with what you know, like right now, your whole thing is about anti-blackness. When you go to college with what you know, right, you go and you expand on the topic, right? Because remember, a lot of these people that you're talking about, they only in college by name only. Like the more money you have, you could probably get somebody could just hand you a degree and you think that you're doing great, right? So what I'm saying is that it only teaches you how to package what you're trying to convey. So there are a lot of papers, a lot of documentations, a lot of information about anti-blackness on that level. The problem is that you have to pay high tuition to access those documents, which is not fair. But that's that whole philosophy where the game is sold but not told. So when you go into an advanced degree, like you are the one, when you become a PhD, you're the one that's actually, you have peer reviews, but it's your information, your resources, it's all of you that conceptualize everything and put it in a package so people will understand it. The problem is that people go to school maybe for the wrong reason. Like when you go to school for science, there is no anti-blackness when it comes to science. They tell you that because I come from the scientific school of thought. When you get into like philosophy, psychology, all that, yes, you might be right about that. But when you're talking about racism, anti-blackness, there are, there are professors and stuff have access to this stuff. Once you get that school ID, that college ID, you have access to things that you ain't never seen before. And they're not written. They're written by scholars from all over the world that look like us. That are all different races. And so the fairness is, why is it because like I tell people, it is actually technically free to get an education, right? However, the type of education you get is not quality. Why
Right.
is it like that? Why is there such an imbalance? Why is it like Carrie Ann said, why is it that a person who has been diagnosed with behavior issues can go to college literally for free through an IEP and they don't have to pay anything, when a person who is very, very, very who just comes from somewhere else, but you know, poverty, but I mean, he's in the middle. His parents make too much money. They've been working hard to try to get a house, everything else, and he's really, really smart, but his parents can't even afford to send him to college, and he has to get a scholarship, and he's competing with a scholarship that's only given to 10 people, and he's on, and it's like 50 people, but this one kid who is at the poverty line, you know, parents can barely read or write, and he's been, you know, has behavior issues. He can take his IEP and walk into the college. They'll give him disabled resources. They'll do all these things for him just so he can get an education.
Okay, well, well, let me explain it to you. Who's giving them the resources? Is it black folks?
Well, it's not.
No.
Right, but here's the thing. The game is to be sold and told. Everybody should know this. So you got black community leaders, you got black people in, you know, in these high positions not telling you know, just the average person, you know, you could do this, you know, this is this and this and this and that, but they're not doing that. And the reason why they're not doing that is because it's all about greed and money. So it's happening, you know, like I said, it's a crabs in a barrel mentality. So you have to look at it that way. So are you going to be the person that pushes the young people and say, listen, I didn't go that far. However, I was told that if you go further than me, you might get more of the game than I can give you. But what I want you to do is bring it back down here. You know, bring it here. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this, and here's where I go with it. Now, I am of the belief that the people that need the most help should receive the most help. Believe that. I'm always of that mindset. That's where I'm at with it. Because the people that don't need as much help, we shouldn't expend as much time and resources as far as those people are concerned. Because a person who's already got their life vest on, the person who's already on the boat, they may be breathing hard and everything else, but see, there's people that are drowning out here. Now, I do believe that we should help the people that are drowning. Now, in the system that we're talking about, we can't use that same analogy, because the people that are responsible for making sure that the girls that got pregnant got prom dresses and things like that, or that the people that had an IEP got to school, those are not black folks making those decisions. The system makes those decisions, even if they're black faces that are speaking the same points. Those are people,
right? Because but you also
the system makes that.
But you also know that there's programs in place that they're trying to get rid of that requires them to give that stuff to people that look like us too,
right?
Because it's not fair. So, you know, and people want to get rid of that because they want to, you know, and I think that the thing about it is that if we all just was a number, right? And that's all we were numbers, right? No face, no nothing. And we all were given the same opportunity, just being just a number. Right. So you're in a school. Nobody knows nothing. Everything is just given to you by a number. They will try to do everything in their power to sabotage, because we definitely will shine through. Because that's what we do.
Well, like I said, I love the conversation, and I don't want to take away from anything that's being said. We diverge on a few things, and you know what? That's cool. I think that what you had going on here today was a great discussion. I really love it. Anything else that I want to say, I'm gonna have to say it over on my spot. But
okay. Can I come over there?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, you like, I say it over there. Can I come over there and say what I want to say? No.
Yeah. I want, you know, you got to keep. Look, the thing is,
I might push back a little bit.
No, come on. You know, I welcome it. But over here, over here, see, people already know what to expect from me. But
Yeah.
over here on your channel, what happens is this. I need you to engage with the people that love to be engaged with you. I don't want to stop the numbers or anything like that. So what I'm saying is let me jump off of here. You get the numbers up, give the people what they need, and then I do my thing over there where I'm at. But I thank you for having me up.
All right. Well, thanks
All
for
right,
coming
peace.
up, Alan. All right. Well, you guys, I went longer than I wanted to, but I appreciate everybody that showed up. I wish Facts would come back with their real name because a debate would have been nice, and he could have hit the panel and tried to cake for whoever they wanted to cake for because they're very biased. But I really appreciate everyone that did show up in the chat, those who chimed in, even the people that just came to disrupt. At the end of this, basically, let's just sums it up to this. We have a person in the sector who's crying out for help. Nobody wants to help her, and that's fine, right? But we also have people in the sector that realize that this person is hurt and this person is going through a lot of turmoil, and this is probably her safe space. I am glad those who chimed in and pointed that out, right? Because difference of opinions does matter. For me, I'm not superly offended by her saying it. I'm more disappointed that she said it because at the end of the day, she has to live with that. She gotta, she gotta carry that weight. I don't have to carry anything because I would never call anybody that, especially if it's a space that I want everyone to like me. So so I just wanted to point that out. I don't have any animosity towards her, really, to be honest with you. A lot of times I'm trolling. Sometimes I'm just saying, what everybody else is thinking or may say, or maybe, may feel like saying, and then they get it off their chest and then they let it go, right? This is just me processing, right? Me trying to kind of rationalize or figure out, like, did this really happen over here? That's all it was. I'm sorry for those who read too much more into it than that, because trust and believe, I sleep good at night. Well, at least I try to. I can't lie. I can't lie and say I sleep good every night, but 9 times out of 10 it's from something else. I would like to shout out a couple of people. Keeper, Miss Murph. I am human. Thank you for showing up to my live. LV, thank you for chiming in. DJ, the Frowning Charlatan, thank you, Alan. Thank you, Carrie Ann, for actually coming up and saying something. Sometimes, you have a strong mind and strong opinion, and I really appreciate that. And Alan, you do too. Strong mind, strong opinion, and I do value that too. The Frowning, thanks Muslim for showing up. T-Pre, thank you for coming. Vici, thank you for coming. And who else showed up? Very Perspective, my Ebu, thank you for coming. Beautiful Bernice, thank you for coming. I think I saw Eyes, thank you for coming, Eyes. I appreciate you chiming in too. And those who just came to chat, thank you. QT, thank you. I just like to thank everybody that showed up to this live. I would definitely want to go live more. Thank you, Spirit Mouse, for coming. But the next time I go live is probably gonna be funny, because I am trying to do some funny things. But the other and then there's gonna be other things coming too. I'm going to try to be consistent, but like I said, in the world that we live in, a lot of us are busy and a lot of us have a lot of things to do. So sometimes all I can do is play in the chat. Who else came? If there's anybody that I missed, Vici, thank you for coming. I did see the ancestors. Any other the little trolls? Max V, thank you for coming. Let's see, anybody else that I missed? If I missed you, I apologize. But I am going to close out. And I'm going to close out with my little new intro. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I can expand on this.
Back and forth.